Raahubaat Muysar. Raahubaat. Okay, NoopooH News. We're here again on Friday. NoopooH News. We got some things that we want to cover that we feel is extremely important that we deal with. And let's get to it. Today, news update is we're in a world of chaos, guys. We are in a world of chaos. Now, this is something the master teacher has updated us, since the beginning, since the 70s and 80s. He's been trying to warn us about this day and time. In fact, on the screen here, I advise everyone to listen to this lecture the master did in the 80s, breaking down the book Matthew's chapter 24 in the Bible. Definitely check this lecture out, this discussion out, because it's dealing with the world we live in today. These wars, these chaos, this it's just chaos everywhere, from natural disasters to global warming to all of these wars that we're dealing with all over the globe. You have here the United States just ended a 20-year war with Afghanistan. 20 years fighting a country that they could not beat, which is crazy. The master teacher said it's hard to beat those people because those are Enkidu, he called them. They're the original descendants of Enkidu. Anyone who knows anything about the Gilgamesh epics, half man, half beast people. And they've been at war. They've been at perpetual war. No, they've never been able to be defeated. It's crazy. They beat the Russians. Now they beat the United States. They beat the two most powerful armies in the world. These people. It's just amazing. But yeah, this country is in perpetual war. The world is in perpetual war. You guys, I hope you guys are up to date on what's going on in the Ukraine. How Russia just decided to invade Ukraine because they think that they should own and run the country. They feel threatened because the United States has had them surrounded with their old Soviet Union countries. All went to the side of the United States. Poland and Lithuania and Czechoslovakia and all these countries are what they call NATO countries, and Russia is complaining about that. Their leader Putin was complaining that he's being surrounded and he's tired of it. So he wants to take back the nations that was under the Soviet Union, and Ukraine is one of those nations. And so this is why he claimed he's invading these people, killing these people, just because he want to control them. He won't allow these people to make their own decision on how they should run their nation. This is this is the insanity of the world we live in. This is what we're dealing with the Mukasu. Everybody is thinks that they can control. China's doing the same thing. China wants to control Taiwan. They basically told the Taiwanese, hey, you guys don't have a right to be a sovereign nation. You need to be a part of us. We need to be controlling you. And China is threatening to invade Taiwan. It says right here, if you look at the news feed, China refuses to condemn Russia for Ukraine invasion. And what's funny about it is China says everyone has a right to their sovereignty. You should respect people's sovereignty. Yet they do not want to respect Taiwan's sovereignty. We're in a world of chaos, guys. And it's important that we are aware. We have to be aware because we're dealing with that chaos. You got over here, what is it? China and India fighting each other. Check this out. This is probably last year, a year and a half ago. China and India killing each other.
On June 15th, China and India's military troops clashed in hand-to-hand combat along a disputed border in the Himalayan mountains, resulting in deaths from both sides. This was the deadliest confrontation between India and China along that border in 45 years, marking a dangerous escalation between the two nuclear powers. In the 1950s,
yeah, you see that? It's China and India fighting each other. I mean, it's chaos everywhere. You know, it's just chaos everywhere. You got this chaos that's still going on a continent. Check this out.
Soldiers in Mali toppled President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita, sparking a wave of military coups across Africa. Last April, a military council in Chad seized power following the death of Chad's longtime president, Idriss Deby. Then on May 24th, 2021, Mali witnessed its second coup in a year. On September 5th, the armed forces of Guinea captured the nation's president and dissolved Guinea's government and constitution. Then on October 25th, Sudan's military seized power and put Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok under house arrest, ending a push in Sudan towards civilian rule. And finally, 2 weeks ago, on January 23rd, Burkina Faso's army leaders, led by a U.S.-trained commander, deposed the nation's president, suspended the constitution, and dissolved parliament. That's 6 coups in 5 African countries in just under a year and a half. Over the weekend, the African Union condemned the recent wave of military coups. This is Ghana's president, Nana Akufo-Addo.
The resurgence of coups d'etats in our region is in direct violation of our democratic tenets and represents a threat to peace, security, and stability in West Africa.
The African Union has suspended 4 of the countries, Mali, Guinea, Sudan, and most recently Burkina Faso. Many of the coups have been led by military officers who have received U.S. training, those U.S. officers. The Intercept recently reported U.S.-trained officers have attempted at least 9 coups and succeeded in at least 8 across 5 West African countries since 2008, including Burkina Faso 3 times, Guinea, Mali 3 times, Mauritania, and the Gambia. To talk more about this wave of coups across Africa, we're joined by 2 guests.
Okay, so you hear that, United States, propping up coups in Africa. It's not just the United States. You got France is doing the same thing. So, it's chaos everywhere. The Mukasu, I mean, it's chaos everywhere. So I go back to, you guys got to check this lecture out the master did, breaking down Matthew 24, because it was our ancestors prophesied this. The world we're living in, the chaos of the world we're living in, and it is imperative that we stay up to date, that we are aware of what's going on in the world. Guys, do not fall asleep. Do not fall asleep. Remember, knowledge rules ignorance. The more we know, the better we're able to make better decisions. Remember, Wu Sabat is being able to make decisions based on sound right reasoning. And you can only do that when you have adequate data, adequate knowledge. So I think this is extraordinarily important that we are up to date on what's going on in the world. Do not be naive. Do not fall asleep. We living in a world of chaos, and that's real. And the only solution to it is us coming together, working together. This is what we keep talking about, guys. I did a lecture this past week about reparations. You guys need to check that out. Come to our website, sign the reparations petition is right here. This is the front page of our website of NoopooH.org. Click right here, reparations petition. Read it. I go over this in our lecture. So sign up, guys, support, because it is imperative that we come together. We work on our redress. Now, of course, if you haven't listened to that discussion I did on this subject, of course, if you know me, I have a different twist on what I argue reparations is all about. It's this lecture. Where's it at? Right here. It says it right here. Reparations. We did this. So, if you guys haven't listened to it, definitely listen to it. Spread the word. Let people know the importance of it. We have to come together, because we're in a world of chaos. We're in a world of chaos. And reparations is just about repairing ourselves, fixing ourselves, correcting ourselves. It's not about getting a check from white people. The root of the word reparations is to repair. And remember, we also talked about each one teach one, spread the word, 6 degrees of separation, right? It's imperative that you guys put the word out there. We have to promote. We have to let our people know what's going on in the world, because we're asleep. We're mentally asleep. We're not paying attention to the importance of things. I mean, we can go all day just about global warming, the natural disasters that are happening all over the globe. The world is in a state of chaos, and that's because the children of chaos have been ruling the planet. That's why we're in this chaos, because of the people who are ruling are chaotic, and all they know is war and bloodshed. And it's not going to stop unless we come back to power. And we can't come back to power if we're so divided. And we're divided because we think negative of each other. We have to see the good part of us and not the bad part of us. We have to learn to work with the good part of us. And the things we don't like, we don't deal with that part. Let's just deal with the part of us we can deal with. But we have to come together, or we're going to perish along with everyone else. So with that being said, this is our NoopooH news. This is the last NoopooH news for February. We're coming into March, starting next week. But I just want to keep you guys up to date, right? Don't fall asleep. Be aware, keep your studies up. Always study, always study, always study. And remember, knowledge rules ignorance. With that being said, Wadu Yasar.